Friends, this story is very interesting, which is of a rich father's boy named Popo. He is a simple and shy boy, so to remove his shyness, his wax dad hires a girl who had to spend a night with Popo and have sex with him. At the beginning of the movie, we see a girl named Sanaa who comes out of her house running away because today a government employee named Lenny has come to seize her car, and he was also Sanaa's ex-boyfriend. Actually, Sanaa's mother had taken a loan at their house before she died to repay the loan. Sanaa used to drive a Cape at night and work in a bar during the day, but this time she could not pay the loan installment. So Lenny starts to take her car, but Sanaa starts to butter Lenny. Now Lenny did not have a car, so she left on foot to go to her work. Then she saw her car outside a shop, so she tried to hide from Lenny and take her car away. Lenny also sees her, so he takes the car back. The same Sanaa goes to her friend Maddie and her husband Tom and tells them her problem, telling them that how will I repay my loan without a car? She used to drive a Cape. Then Maddie finds an old car for her on OLX, but all that car was out of her reach. Meanwhile, they see an ad in which a rich father wanted a girlfriend of the same age for his 20-year-old boy and the girl who will do this work. That rich family will give him a car, but Tom tells Sanaa that these rich people can make their son sleep with any girl. We don't even bother him at the party. He just keeps running his mobile, and now he's about to go to college. I don't know how he will manage everything there. They ask Sanaa her age. Sanaa tells him that she is 32 years old, and also tells him that age does not matter. I will make your son happy and give him a lot of fun. The Pope's wax tells Sanaa that you have to make our son a driver, and the day he blows your cock, we will give you a car. Now Sanaa also understands she has to introduce the Pope to the public. So Sanaa gets ready and reaches across the Pope's shop, and she starts hitting the line at the Pope on the pretext of buying the dog there. But Popo does not pay attention to her. So Sanaa shows her anger to her. But still Popo does not pay attention to her, and seeing Sanaa like this, she starts to panic. Friends, this Pope turned out to be a really big Popo. The same Pope starts to leave from there, so Sanaa tells her today she will leave her home with her, but Popo was not ready to go with her. So Sanaa forcefully puts her bicycle in her van, so Popo has to go with Sanaa. In Wayne, Sanaa jokes to Popo that she is going to kidnap him. Saying this, Sanaa also takes Pope's phone from him and takes the car towards her house instead of Pope's house. Then Popo sees dangerous weapons inside the car. Actually, this car was Sanaa's friend Tom's. Popo gets scared after seeing those weapons, and as soon as they reach Sanaa's house, Popo gets out of the car and sprays paper in Sanaa's mouth, which burns Sanaa's eyes. An angry Sanaa tells him, I don't want to kidnap you. I just want to go on a date with you. Papu regrets listening to Sanaa and pours water on Sanaa's mouth from the pipe that feeds the trees, and also agrees to go on a date with her in the evening. In the next scene, we see Sanaa in a restaurant who is doing the Pope's vat. Soon the Pope also reaches there, but after seeing her, everyone starts laughing at her because she was wearing a knicker with a suit. But Sanaa compliments her dress very much because Sanaa had to convince her to press her pussy. Yes, but Popo did not drink alcohol, so he asks to bring cold drinks for himself, but Sanaa cancels it and orders whiskey for him as well, and starts giving drinks to the Pope. But then Sanaa's ex-boyfriend comes there, and he tells Sanaa in front of the Pope that I am engaged and my wife also loves me very much, and she tells the Pope to avoid it. It is very driving it caught up with me as well. Saying all these things, he goes away. The same Sanaa takes Popo to a deserted beach where it was forbidden to go after 8 o'clock. But the Pope does not know how to swim. Sanaa asks Popo to go swimming and starts to remove Popo's clothes, but Popo refuses her. So Sanaa removes all her clothes and goes into the water to impress Popo. She also asks the Pope to come there. Seeing Sanaa, the Pope's weapon also starts to stand up, so he also takes off his clothes and goes into the water. Now both of them were in the water, but before something happens between them in the water, some bad boys and girls come there and they pick up their clothes. Even after Sanaa refuses to return their clothes, Sanaa comes out of the water naked and seduces the boys and takes her cuddles from them and comes back to the water. But the Pope is scared to see Sanaa beating the boys and refuses to take Sanaa's clothes, which angers Sanaa and starts to leave. But Popo sits on the bonnet of Sanaa's car. Sanaa asks him to get down from there, but when the Pope does not get down from the bonnet of the car, Sanaa starts driving the car. Pope asks Sanaa to stop the car, but Sanaa does not stop the car. But on the way, the police see them and start chasing them, which frightened Sanaa because she did not have a license, and the Pope was also sitting on the bonnet of the naked car. But as soon as Sanaa gets rid of the police, and they both come to Sanaa's house, where Sanaa starts showing her flair to Popo as a horse. But Popo does not take advantage of this opportunity at all. Sanaa asks Popo to lick her bomb, but the stupid Popo kicks Sanaa. Now Sanaa puts her heavy luggage on her small weapon, but the poor Popo can't lift her weight, so Sanaa puts her in her dock. At the same time, the Pope begins to itch because he has an infection all over his body. Now Sanaa, seeing this, instead of romancing all night, applies medicine on Papu's body. The Pope says to Sanaa, "Before you came, there was no happiness in my life. When I used to sleep with my mom and dad, my school children used to tease me and say that I see the life of my mom and dad, so I never went out of the house and I never made friends. Even today, I cannot press your pussy, so we will spend the whole day together." Sanaa goes to the restaurant and asks the Pope to play the piano. Popo at first refuses to play the piano in front of everyone, but when Sanaa forces him, he also agrees and starts playing the piano. In fact, the Pope knew how to play the piano very well, but he was embarrassed to play in front of the people. Well, now everyone claps when Popo plays the piano, but in a short time, Papu's family friend Natalia, who was going to go to college with him, invites Natalia Pope to a party at her house and goes away. Sanaa was jealous to see Natalia with the Pope. Sanaa tells the Pope that she is with the Pope only until this summer. So the Pope tells Sanaa that after I go to college, you should come there to meet me. But Sanaa tells him that you should enjoy with girls of your age there. There is no need for me. Popo gets angry and goes to Natalia's party. Sanaa tries to convince him, but Popo doesn't listen to her and goes to Natalia's party. Sanaa also follows him to the party without invitation, where all the boys and girls start making fun of Sanaa and teasing her by calling her Ani Ani and making her video. But Sanaa ignores them and reaches a room upstairs to find the Pope. But the Pope does not open the door, which angers Sanaa, and she breaks the door. Inside, Popo was very drunk, and he was with Natalia in the nude. Sanaa put her finger in her mouth to make her vomit. But then the parents of all the children also reach there, and they start bad-mouthing Sanaa and insulting her. Seeing all this, Popo suffered Sanaa's humiliation. That doesn't happen, so he starts hitting that uncle, but instead of him, Popo's punch hits Sanaa. While both of them are going home, Popo says sorry to Sanaa, and she asks him for permission. When he asks for it, Sanaa also agrees to give it. But later Sanaa feels that Popo has drunk too much alcohol, so she refuses to give it to him. She refuses and tells him that I will make you admire my beauty tomorrow. The next morning we see Popo, who is looking very happy because today was finally the day when he would take someone for the first time. And now he refuses to let his mom go to college because he doesn't want to move out of the city, and he just lives with Sanaa. Pope's mom gets upset after hearing that he wanted to stay because he wanted to make Pope smart, but he was too much in love. So he asked both of them to wait in the car. Call and tell him that you have to convince Popo to go to college. For this, we will give you more money. On the other hand, Popo was also sitting in the car, and he listens to the conversations of those people through the Bluetooth of the car, due to which Popo is completely broken because the girl whom he had accepted everything, and she was in love with Popo just for money, whom her mom-dad had hired, and the next day Popo hired her. Popo's mom invites Sanaa to her house without telling him. Popo's mom acts in front of dead Popo as if he doesn't know Sanaa, but little did he know, Popo has now become smart, and he knows everything about her. Then Popo gets a call from his friend, and he calls him outside the house. Actually, Popo asked him to bring some weapons. This was so that he could break the car, which his mother was going to give to Sanaa. They take the car out of the house and play the band. Then Popo goes to Sanaa and tells her that I will take your car. So Sanaa also agrees with him. But now Popo was about to put his weapon in Sanaa's cave for the first time in his life. So Popo gets free before having fun with Sanaa. After all this, Popo tells everything to Sanaa that I know what is the deal between you and my mom dead, and you did it with me, pretended to be in false love. So now Popo asks Sanaa to go away from his life. Sanaa is also very happy now and comes to her house. But the next morning, she sees that Popo's mother had sent her the same broken car. Now after this, Sanaa takes her broken car and works hard for many months and repays her loan. And now this problem is over from her life. But Sanaa still had some feelings for Popo in her heart, and she wanted to apologize to him. So she gets ready and reaches Popo's college to find him and goes to him and starts apologizing to him. But Popo does not listen to her and starts leaving from there with the car. So Sanaa falls on the bonnet of Popo's car. She sits down and refuses to get down. So Popo starts driving the car and finds Sanaa in the water on a beach. Here they talk a lot and apologize to each other and become friends again. Now we see the last scene where Popo meets his mom and dad and gets ready to go to college. Pax outside, Sanaa waits for him, who is going to go to California after leaving Popo for college. And this suspense romantic movie has a happy ending. Friends, if you like the story, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.